If you want to show us some love, donate at rubydaytv.com, the home of all my exclusives, and don't forget to leave the show a rating or a review. Thanks to Tantaley for sponsoring today's episode. Tantaley has everything you need for your next self-care moment, with a wide range of high-quality companion dolls to fit any taste. So make sure to check out Tantaley and use code RUBYDAY to get 12% off your purchase. Realism redefined. You deserve the best experience. So lifelike, you'll be amazed at how real they feel. This is Love Shot. I'm Ruby Day.
And I'm Olivia Fox.
Okay, so you started recently dating. And I know what my current dating experience is being, but you're kind of a newbie at all this, and this is being just kind of throw a fish into water and see if they can swim kind of scenario. So I haven't heard an update about how the dating's going for you, and I'm dying to know.
Yeah, the dating, modern dating, I tell you, it's, on all these apps, and we were talking about that earlier in a previous podcast. I would say this, you have to put yourself out there, and
okay, wait a minute.
Out.
Wait a minute. I'm going to interrupt you because what apps are you using? Let's start there.
Oh,
because I want to know there are so many dating apps out there, and all of them seem to have some kind of niche. Depending on what they are.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
That, which ones are you using and what kind of experiences are you having on them?
Well, I've tried many, I've tried everything from Bumble to Tinder to OkCupid to Field, which I actually really like Field.
That's one I haven't used yet.
Yeah.
Tinder and OkCupid, I didn't have that. No.
I can't say
not my speed.
Yeah. I've tried Facebook dating. Had a little bit of luck there.
That sounds like a disaster waiting to happen.
I think I had one really, really nice guy that I went on a date with, but nothing really materialized, but he's really, really sweet. But you're right. The rest of it has definitely been a little bit sketchy with Facebook dating. I didn't have a lot of luck with the, Bumble's one that's still yet to be really figured out. Field I've had luck with, and it's been going pretty well. I'm also on Her, which is kind of basically a lesbian.
Yeah, recently heard of that one too.
And so I've been experimenting with the lesbian dating app as well. But yeah, I've been really, really liking Field. I think the thing I will say about all the dating is one, there's a lot of bots and there's a lot of scammers on there, unfortunately.
And I've heard that so much.
Yeah, so you have to be able to figure that out. I think one of the biggest things I always look for as soon as you get them in chatting or you connect and they're like, "Hey, let's go to Telegram." That is literally a sign for I'm trying to scam you out of something or do something. It's like, so I don't
Or maybe
need to do that.
they're just down for sexting and that's an easier way.
They could be.
And that's all they're looking for. But at least be upfront about it.
Yeah, right.
Be like, "Hey, I love chatting with you here, but I'm really looking for some sexting.
Yeah.
So can we take it over here?"
And there's a lot of people looking for that type of stuff. I'm not really into sexting with somebody unless I'm actually seeing them. At all. I'm not really into that. I've dabbled with it early on, but I was like, this is going nowhere. It's like it builds you up and it goes nowhere, And I think there's just people out there that are just looking for sexting on the dating sites, and they don't have any intention of ever meeting with anybody at all.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with it if you're upfront about it. But the thing is, I kind of put them, if they're not upfront about it, I put them in the category that they're kind of scamming, You're just kind of scamming you for just getting sexy, naughty talk and stuff like that. And so it kind of it's time wasting for me because I'm actually there to get a date, to go on a date, to meet a new friends with benefits or something. Yeah.
So I have to ask this sexting, because I've wondered this with people, especially for women.
Yeah.
Does it feel a bit objectifying?
Yeah.
Just sitting and sexting?
Well, it does if you're doing it with somebody that you don't have a connection with. If you have a connection, for me at least, if I have a connection, which means we've gone out on a date or two or something like that.
Okay, I was going to say, was a connection.
Yeah, there was a connection. Is we've been out on some dates and we actually have at least
hit it off
and kind of hooked up to some degree. We fooled around, and when I fool around with somebody, I'm like, then you want to keep it rolling. And so, I'm all about doing it after that. But before that, it just seems like I'm talking to some stranger I don't even know.
So basically,
Yeah.
you're saying, hey, you have to buy the cow to get the milk.
Well, you don't have to buy it. You just have to
Well,
come
no,
drink
so
some
to
milk
speak.
first.
Yeah, like
Right.
taste test it before.
Yeah, you got to come taste test it. And I want to be taste tested, I guess. But yeah, it's like, it's just...
That's dangerous to say. I do not recommend
Come taste me, boys.
saying that on any of your profiles.
Right? No, I don't say
really
that.
don't.
I don't say anything like that. But it's like, I think that's the biggest thing that I find so far. But the other thing is I find a bunch of people who, I'll get these guys where, we started off and then they just kind of, they're like, yeah, I'm interested. And then they just kind of, you hear from them like once in a blue moon. It's like they check in. What's happening,
Hey, at least they don't ghost you, because
no, right.
I hear that is happening all the time. I have it happen to me.
Yeah.
I mean, like they chit chat with me and then they just drop off the shelf.
Right.
Like, I don't know where they went. I don't know what happened to them. Mm-hmm. And I even get even more perplexed when they basically ghost me. They drop off, but then later they block me.
Oh, well,
and I'm like, what the hell is that about? Like, there was nothing in our conversation that would even remotely say you need to block me.
Well, I'll tell you what it is. I think I figured that out. That type of stuff. Those are people that never have any intention of actually going any further. They were just playing with the fantasy, and there's a lot of that on there too.
I know, but why block somebody?
I have no idea.
You just don't even have to talk to him
You're right.
again.
You don't. I don't know, but I think it's something like that. Or maybe they have a girlfriend or a wife that found out and they're like, oh shit, I better I want to get rid of this
about that.
Yeah. So I think there's a lot of reasons for that, but I think a lot of people, a lot of people are lonely and they get on there just to chat or sext or something, and they have no intention of meeting and dating. And so I try to vet people to see if they're actually up for that and actually want to meet, because I want to meet. I mean, I'm a people person. I want to meet in person. Yeah. Let's go out and have a drink. Let's go have dinner.
Like, hey, I want something a little real, like to make sure that you're a real person.
Yeah, right. And so, because I want to make sure you're I also look on dating profiles. This is the other thing. You can see verified profiles on these dating apps. That means they've been verified, where you have to do a selfie that verifies off the pictures that you're submitting. Yeah. And that's a big deal. I only mess with people that are verified. I quit. Early on, I was doing that.
So why is that you do that? Because, I mean...
Because
that doesn't mean they're anything worth dating material.
No. It's not like that. It just means they are who is pictured. Because I ran into a bunch of people who were not who they pictured. Here's a picture of somebody. That's
and
not
they
how it
show
is.
Up and they look totally different.
Or you just find out that's not them. So I look for verified profiles. It's also, it kind of helps too to get rid of the scammers and stuff like that. So you just kind of because it's nothing worse than you think you're talking to somebody and you're really enjoying it and you're like, I want to meet, and then you find out you're getting scammed. It's not even the person. Yeah. It's like you're talking to this handsome guy and you're like, this is not that guy. It's not who that is. Because the thing is, everybody
that's such a letdown.
It is.
That would be such a letdown. Like you're like, I've got this really cute guy and we've set something up, and then you show up and you're like,
it's somebody else.
Whoa, this is not who I was talking to.
Right. You don't want to do that.
Or they show up and they don't look like their pictures.
Oh, God.
And you're sitting there waiting for your date to show up, and they never show.
Yeah.
Or you think they never show.
You think they never show, right.
And then you realize, no, it's the guy looking over in the corner who looks like he's lost.
Yeah.
That's really your date. And you're like, you don't look anything.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's not a good experience.
I've bowed out from things like that without ever,
mm-hmm.
initiating with the person that I realize they're there to meet me. And it's like, okay, I'm going to go out the back door.
Well,
Did
luckily,
they see me?
I've created a vetting process in this modern dating world to try to alleviate most of that. And for the most part, it seems like it's working, knock on wood. But it's like, it's tough. You have to invest time. And I think that's the thing. You're investing time. You want it to be authentic people that actually want the same thing. Like they actually want to meet somebody too to date in whatever aspect.
I don't have a lot of time. So I wanted to be legit because I've got very limited time. And I want somebody who's honestly who they say they are.
Me too.
I'm going to be investing my time into going and meeting this
absolutely.
person.
So anyway, that's a lot of what it's like. It's a lot of vetting, is what I would say
Yeah.
in this modern dating situation. You got to vet people, and there's a lot of people that flake out, or there's a lot of people that say, I met somebody in the process.
Yeah,
So it's like, oh.
it sounds like you need an HR dating team.
Yes.
So that they can
HR.
sift through and
Yeah.
they can just present you with your options.
Here's your options, yeah.
And here's your options because your HR dating team's already taking
There's
care
actually
of that.
dating apps out there that do just that. That you
Are you
pay
serious?
to have a dating manager.
You know what?
They do that.
I
yeah.
think I heard of one. It's called Raya.
Yeah,
Now,
Raya kind of does some of that.
None
but-
of these apps are sponsors. We're getting no monetary
Yes,
reimbursement for them. This is just our real life
experience. Yeah.
Now, I have not tried Raya because I've heard really mixed
Yes,
reviews
I have too.
about them. It's
Yeah.
supposedly this elite, find wealthy
Celebrity.
celebrities, social media.
Yeah, but here's the thing, celebrity.
celebs.
Let's break that down. I went and looked into it, and
Did you really?
Here's celebrity. It just requires 5,000 followers on IG. That's it, and anybody can get out. Or it
Hey,
requires.
wait
yeah.
a minute. It's tough getting 5,000 followers on IG.
It is these days. Isn't
It is. So that's an
Yeah.
accomplishment.
So
Don't knock it.
They consider you a celebrity at 5,000 IG followers, or 5,000 of any social media. Which
Or
is
combined,
so ridiculous.
or just on
no,
one
on one.
profile?
You have to have it on one profile.
Okay, so there are standards.
And so, and the other way you can get in is somebody who's on it.
Right.
They can send you an invitation and invite you. So that's a
Okay.
bypass. Or you can just pay extra money and get on it too. So there's
Right.
some bypasses to that dating
Right.
app. And so I think it tries to create the illusion that it's this high profile thing, but all honestly, there's a lot of ways to get into it. for
They've
anybody.
laxed up their
Yeah.
credentials.
So, but I think honestly, most of them are all very, very similar. They all have a
Right.
chatting aspect in them. They all have your profile and your pictures, and they have these.
Right.
Everything's gone to a point where it's like you swipe, go through and click everybody you like, and then they have to like too in order for it to match up. And
Right.
so because otherwise you
That's
can't have people
standard.
just right. They can't
That's
just be
standard.
writing you.
So what's been your experience on Field? Because I've heard really good things about it.
well,
I
yeah.
haven't dipped my toes in it yet.
Yeah.
I wanted to, and I've got too much on my plate with other
Yeah.
projects that I'm doing. So I'm curious
Yeah.
because, like, it sounds like my jam. It's people who are just down to earth,
Yeah.
all types,
All
from
types.
binary to queer to they're looking for everything
Oh, yeah.
possible, to lifestylers to poly people. I mean, my
Oh,
whole
yeah.
dynamic.
Yeah, there's
Like, so I'm really
Well,
curious.
it's kind of like they took a swing site and they mixed it with a binary dating site, as well as like an LGBT dating site, because it's all together,
Right,
all
but-
one big old smorgasbord.
Yeah,
Like,
what's been your experience with it though?
people have been very polite and respectful.
has
for
it been
the
a
most
good
part.
dating
Yeah.
experience for you?
Yeah,
Has it?
It has. I mean, out of all the dating apps, I ran into some hagglers on several of the dating.
Oh, they're
apps.
everywhere,
Facebook dating,
honey.
Smaggle. Oh my God, hagglers.
I'm
on
not
Facebook
even
dating.
on dating apps right
Yeah.
now because I just, like I said, I don't have the time for it. And I still get hagglers.
Yeah. I think Facebook dating is probably the worst I've run into as far as hagglers and trolls that are just like there to troll people on dating, which is so
Well,
weird.
no offense, but
Yeah.
it is
It is Facebook,
dating.
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, you're like,
let's get real.
I had a girlfriend of mine tell me about it, and she said, "Hey, I had some luck on it, so I thought I would try it."
Well, I mean,
Yeah,
I'm sure some
know.
people do. I mean,
And
I'm
yeah.
not trying to bash anyone.
Oh no, and I think that's the other thing too. I think some people just have different luck on other
Yeah.
apps. I have another girlfriend that has had really great success on Bumble. Which is something I'm still exploring right now, and I haven't had any luck on it, but it's something I'm exploring. But it's going back to Field. Field was something. It's kind of interesting because it even has features where you can connect your other partners.
Oh,
profiles.
Wow.
Yeah,
Well,
so you
that
can share
would
'em, so
that
you
would
like-
follow up with the poly
It
type
does, or
dating,
even
which would be
swinging,
really
or-
great.
Or ethical non-monogamy.
Yeah, because I know the
and-
swing sites you can do that too as your
Well,
friends
you can set them as
list.
friends, but this is like you create constellations. They call
Okay.
it, and so they show them, and you can then click on. They can say, "Here's or my partners," or maybe you're married. They can say, "Like because there's a lot of
Right.
married people on there that do it."
I've heard that too.
Yeah, and so you like here's my wife's profile, and you
Right.
can click on it and look at her. And read her profile and so forth. So I like some of the features on Field. It seems like it's got a lot of great features. You can even use it free with a lot of great features
Nice.
without having
That's
to pay.
a bonus.
Oh yeah, it's probably one of the best apps I would say for that you can use free and actually have
Right.
the largest amount of features.
Right.
You know,
Probably higher connectivity because
there
of
is
it
a lot of
too.
higher connectivity, but the thing is too, a lot of people on there that I've experienced, you know, I've got a lot of connections right now.
Right.
I've got a whole list of connections and we're all connected and we chit chat, but a lot of people are so busy with their lives. It's like we're hit and miss. And some of these people are like, well, I only got like one time a month that I could get together and have a date.
Well, that's what I
Yeah.
wondered. And that's what I'm finding. People are so busy in today's modern
Yeah.
dating that it's kind of a touching base.
Well, it is. And it's
Type
like, can our
of-
schedules work out?
Yeah, kind of
So,
situation
yeah.
because they're like, hey, I got a lot of shit going on. I can't do this anymore. You know,
Right.
then this is what I'm available for because
Yeah.
I've got 3 kids, 2 of them are graduating, one of them's in
Right.
college. You know.
Oh yeah, and I've got situations just like that are, you know, I've got, you know, guys I'm talking to and they're like, hey, I've got one day a month and we're trying to see if we can make the schedules work.
Right.
And you know, so far I've had some that just haven't worked out for months, and I don't know if
I
they
was
ever
gonna
will
ask.
work out. You know,
Who
But every
knows?
once in a while they jump in there and be like, hey, do you have like this day free? And like, you know, it's like so we're trying
Yeah.
to figure it out. So but I have had, you know, the guy, the friends with benefits that I'm still seeing that I see weekly that we had talked about in another podcast. Which you guys should check that out, the Friends with Benefits podcast and Navigating It advice. That one I met on Field. And it's been just amazing. It's been one of the most amazing experiences I've had. And you know, one thing I thought was really lovely. It's just really open. It's really honest. And that's something else I've
That
seen
is
on that app.
so
Is a lot of people are
key.
just straightforward.
Oh,
Like,
I love that. That,
Right.
like I said, it seems like it's my
Yeah.
jam.
Even if they're like DTF down to fact,
Yeah.
they're like, hey, this is what I'm looking for. You know, flat out.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't want to waste your time.
I want
Yeah.
upfront. I
Yeah.
want honest. I want direct.
Yeah. And I've
you
had-
know, with courteousness
Oh,
and
yeah.
politeness. But
Yeah.
hey, just lay it out. What are you looking for? This is what I'm looking for.
And
to me, that's how
Yeah.
dating should be.
It should be, and it should be respectful like that. You know, get the fact
Absolutely.
that, hey, we may not match up on stuff. And
Yeah.
I think that's what's nice. And, you know, they give you a really big amount of space to write a bio and what you're
Nice.
looking for. But, you know, the people have been really, really polite. I mean, connected with several people who were just like, hey, you know, after we read our profiles,
Right.
and everybody reads them too on there too, which is amazing.
They read?
They read. Yeah, I haven't run
Wow.
into anybody who hasn't read the profile,
Oh
which
my
is actually
gosh, that's like
unreal. Yeah.
astonishing.
Yeah, and that's just been my experience with Field, that they're just actually reading. But I've had people be like, hey, you know, I was a little hesitant to reach out. I know we connected, but, you know, you said you were looking for something consistent.
Right.
And I'm not available for that. But they go ahead and write that and say, hey, I don't
Here's
I don't
what
know.
I am
Here's what I am,
available.
and I don't know if this is going to work for you.
Right.
But that's what I can do.
Dude, that's the
Yeah.
way it all should, you know, you should
Oh
have
yeah,
that dynamic.
You hope. So that's the aspect about Field that I think I really, really like about the modern dating aspect, because it feels more real and more normalized.
Yeah.
Now a lot of the other dating apps, you know, they're kind of just a dime a dozen. It's pretty generic, and I know there's a genericness to all of them. You know, they're all very similar in that deal, but there is a different feel and vibe of the people that go to certain
Oh,
apps
there
and stuff
are,
like that. So very, very different.
completely.
Yeah. And I'm, you know, I've been on some apps that like OkCupid where I think so
Oh
many
my
people just
gosh.
make up all sorts of bullshit. It's like they're just lying off their ass. Just
Yeah,
to
you
get
don't
laid.
know what's real and what's
Right.
not. And,
Yeah.
you know, am I going
Yeah.
out with a fantasy?
Right. And I've
or
met
is
some
that
people
what
on
they're
there that they
for?
seem like they're okay at first, and then they're just cuckoo. I mean, like,
Oh,
whoa,
yeah.
what's
I've
going
run
on
into
there?
those.
So
I
yeah.
actually had a first date one time.
yeah,
That really nice guy, he was just a little too eager.
yeah,
We're sitting down the first time we've ever met, and it's a blind date. Like, our parents hooked us up.
Oh,
And now
God.
the favor to the moms, we both agreed to it. So we're sitting at this restaurant in the middle of the meal, and he starts asking me about kids, getting married, buying houses, what I want for my future. And I'm like,
your first date.
First
Oh,
date.
my God.
First blind date.
Oh my God.
And I just looked at him. I set down my fork and I was like, really?
Yeah,
This is just the first date.
yeah. Slow down.
Let's slow your
Cowboy.
roll. Let's not get too carried away. And he looked so shocked. And I'm thinking in my head,
Oh,
this is
man.
why you haven't found anyone.
Wow. Yeah.
And it's not that it scared me off.
Yeah.
It was just the fact that that's a little too soon.
Yeah.
Like, let's hit a groove. Let's see if we actually, like, have things in common, personalities click.
Yeah.
And by the way, he had one of the driest personalities.
Oh, God.
Nothing wrong with it, but it just was not going to create mojo in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, no doubt.
And he's talking to me about how he wants 3 kids and how many kids do I want. And I'm like, I don't fucking want kids.
Yeah.
I love them.
Yeah.
I love to give them back.
You know, that's one...
I don't want that responsibility. I have no issue dating people with kids.
Right.
I totally understand it. I'm completely flexible, but I don't want them myself. So talking to me about how many kids I want, I'm like, get the fuck away from me. Like, now, run.
Oh, God.
If you want to show us some love, donate at rubydaytv.com. The home of all my exclusives. And don't forget to leave the show a rating or a review.